Greetings, y'all. It's your Knock Piramata, and welcome back to another Golf Stories podcast. I'm, of course, joined here by PGA Tour caddy, Derell Hatton. Derell, what's going on, man? Episode 34, I believe.
I mean, I've lost track of the episode. Good thing we have you here because you're the man. I mean, episode 34, never thought we'd even get to episode 10, let alone 34.
Yeah.
On my end, you probably did, but you definitely have more confidence than I did.
I mean, I'm surprised we pretty much stayed on track just about every week. So
we've managed. I mean, I remember there was a weekend little recap. I forgot what week that was, but see, like even that was more recent.
We got it in still, though.
But we got it in still. So I think, you know, the biggest part of this, the two of us, is you keep me on my toes for sure. So definitely appreciate you on that end. But no, everything's all good on my end.
Good deal. Playing a little golf, I see. I know playing in some pretty weather over there.
Oh, the weather has been amazing, except Sunday at Fortinet. Today was another unreal day of golf. I'm trying to get my golf in because I'll be pretty busy the next 10, 12 days. So tomorrow I might have a small window to play, and then definitely shutting it down for about 13 days or so.
Yeah, got some work to do. We'll get into this week about your work. But yeah, I mean, as far as golf for me, I mean, we got rained out again. The one day.
Talk to me about all that stuff.
The one day it freaking rained. It was beautiful all week, and the one day we decided to play, and it only rained in where we were playing.
Of course, right? It makes
we only
same thing. Same thing. Bring a PGA Tour event to a city, and it's gonna rain there.
Exactly. Just dampers your day. Yeah, man. But I do have a couple scrambles coming up here in a couple weeks, so like, got to get the game a little sharp.
Let's go, Ringer.
Yeah, helping out the first tee kids, so I'll go ahead and practice right after I do those little clinics. So I'm liking my game. I mean, I was playing pretty good before it started raining, so I'm pretty pleased where I'm at with my game. And I do have a ping fitting. I know how much you love to hear that.
Good.
Friday to probably sort out my driver. I had a ping fitting earlier in the year with my iron, so let's see with the driver what we can find out.
Love it.
Yeah, the game is in good shape, and it's going to be in good shape here soon. So yeah, I'm excited for some of the changes in my game, and hopefully for the better. But
always.
Yeah, so you did mention, of course, you can still see the background. You mentioned the Fortinet Championship.
That's number one right there. I know that very well.
Yes, indeed. What a wild finish that was.
Yeah, it was.
Goodness. Oh shoot, what was it? Max Homa ends up with the one-shot victory, but
yeah,
of course, if you told me that on their third shots on 18, there's just like no way. And to tell me that Max Homa wins it in regulation. No less.
I mean, even from my end, when I was on the golf course, Willet was up by a couple, and everybody assumed he was going to get it done. And with 18 being a par 5, getting it kind of close, it wasn't really reachable, but you can get it kind of close to where you can kind of have a shot. So that was surprising on my end. Actually, I was driving home and, you know, trying to get out of there as soon as possible. I'm about 2.5 hours from there.
Right.
And so I was driving home to get out of there as soon as possible, and got a couple of phone calls from buddies like, no. I was like, oh, did Willet get it done? No, Max won. And so they told me all about it. And I wasn't really worried about golf after we left. I was just glad that we were done. There was other news that I needed to attend, like my boy Trey Lance getting hurt and Jimmy going in. So my phone was definitely blown up on that end. So definitely was more focused there. But definitely, I mean, crazy ending. I ended up seeing it when I got home because I seen the clips and highlights and all that stuff. So yeah, it was tough to see. But again, first event of the year, jitters. You know, even Willett said in his interview that I seen, like, you know, just getting back into contention. It's kind of been a while for him. So all good.
Yeah, wildness all the way around. Yeah, I mean, Willett has a couple DP World Tour wins since his Master win, but this was a real chance to grab another PGA Tour event. And man, I was watching on the way home on the phone. I had it up, and it's just I was just sitting there. I was actually thinking this. I was like, man, Homa's got to chip this in just to even have a chance. oh, this one's pretty much in the bag. And then he freaking chips it in. I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's a 3-footer. I mean, I know it's downhill, so just tickle it down there. I mean, but it's a 3-putt from there. That's just, I mean, it's crazy. And he did handle it like a pro. I mean, and at the end of the day, he still has the Masters. He still has one of these hanging in his closet. So nothing to damper. He's in good form, Danny Willet. I'm sure we'll still see him going forward. And congrats to Max Homa. I mean, to hang in there, to chip it in. I mean, it's not over till it's over. And to fight all the way through and back to back. I mean,
agreed.
5-time PGA Tour winner in the last 3 years. So
right,
he's become a force on tour and one of the more likable fan favorites with all his things on social media. The funny dude. So yeah, I'm more the merrier, and I'm happy for him. And it was just a crazy finish to see that. I've never seen anything like that to flip the odds like that within pretty much minutes. And I think everyone's still in shock from what I know I am. But as far as how'd y'all's week go with you and Chris Stroud? Y'all did make the cut, making some money.
I mean, it was off the tee. He definitely struggled. I don't know. Did I send you the stat sheet?
No, I don't think you did.
I mean, he finished 6th. It's either 6th or 7th in approach to the green.
Mm-hmm.
Top 40 in both. I think both putting and chipping, I believe, and then 70 something in. So basically, I mean, the biggest takeaway, to not just long story short, he was +5 in approach to the green and -5 in off the tee. So you basically even out there, but you don't want to even out anywhere really.
Right.
So other than that, again, first tournament back of the year, got some things to work on, but I think overall it was a good week to try to find something to progress moving forward.
Yeah, find your sea legs, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, and hey, I was telling you last week, his track record isn't great there. So I mean, to make the cut and kind of just try to find some rhythm.
And he mentioned that too as well.
Yeah, so to find some positive rhythm is a great step in the right direction. So
yeah, he mentioned that as well. He's like D, like I typically don't do well here. So to again, just moving forward to to better things.
Yes, indeed. I did see his hole out that bunker. I saw that live. I was like, oh,
did you?
There's Derell. Oh man.
I mean, we went from a fairway bunker to a greenside bunker,
and then hold it out. And was that Friday? I think so. I mean, that was pretty clutch.
Friday, yeah.
So,
Friday, pretty clutch.
To kind of make sure you make the cut line. So
yeah,
hey, that's all good stuff from the Fortinet Championship.
Definitely have some security there.
Yeah, for sure. A little cushion. That never hurts.
I mean, easily a 2-shot swing, because that bunker was short-sighted a little bit, and it could easily be bogey there. So to get away with a 3 there is pretty nice.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Max Homa and Danny Willet, it just flipped.
Exactly.
So that works out. Lots of flipping scripts over there. Other news: there was LIV Golf Chicago. I know you probably didn't get to watch it, but did you see some of the highlights? Cameron Smith and of course the 4 aces.
I didn't see too much. I know 4 aces are, they're everybody's saying like, are they a dynasty now? And at this point, they seem like it.
4 peak.
Nobody's been able to take them down. So that team is just strong.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's not much you can do. And
I will say, I've seen some tweets, and whether you're LIV or PGA or not, I mean, they need world ranking points, because I mean, Cam Smith and DJ are playing some of unreal golf.
Right.
Just being from a golf perspective, whether right, wrong, or not, they're playing unreal golf.
Right.
So that field, I'm not saying that they should get full points. I don't know what to do, but that field is strong.
Right.
So they deserve something, and I think, or just even like make it to where there's a criteria for them to be able to be in majors if this is how it's going to go. Because at the end of the day, like, majors are something where you want the best players playing it.
Yeah. I don't know exactly the final solution on it.
Yeah, correct. I don't either. Maybe
a WGC kind of type of deal they'll put together.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Because I mean, even you see a lot of. I mean, sorry to get off track. Really, you see
No, it's good. It's cool.
a lot of the PGA Tour players okay with them going to LIV, and that's not the issue.
Mhm.
So they're not asking to come back to the PGA Tour for the most part, besides whatever happened at Memphis, but whatever. But for the most part, it's them just wanting to have some more ranking points so they can play majors. So again, that's what I got for that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I looking at the criteria, I don't think they're going to make it, but I do think they should get world ranking points just based off the field. I mean,
right?
These guys are.
I mean, like I said, Dustin and Cam Smith are playing some unreal golf right now.
Yeah, and a bunch of other major champions in the field. That, they're still playing good golf. I mean, Sergio's playing some good golf. He's top 10. So, I mean, how can you say that he's not one of the best players in the world? And
agreed.
Award that. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what they've been putting. I've been watching a little bit of the coverage. They're definitely pushing that Cam Smith, Dustin, trying to make it a little rivalry, which is rightfully so. That's your two big name premier players. So, and they're showing it. So that's pretty cool that that's going on. And yeah, the 4 aces, I mean, that's a solid. I mean, still though, to kind of do it for Pete, that's still very impressive. But man, when you have literally four aces, it's hard to beat. Every player has to come to play.
With their main ace always coming to play.
Yeah, exactly. Friggin' Dustin is steady, really. I mean, steady Eddie up there. It's crazy. And yeah, congrats to Cam Smith. Really cruising. Really, we did call that. I believe we did call that. So, I mean,
I'll give you more credit than me. So
you said you're the one who mentioned Cam Smith. So I'll count that on our tally, our win tally, as far as calling things. But yeah, good showing from the Koepkas. Finally got something. They finished second with their team smash, and Phil finally looking like he's a decent player again with the high flyers. And yeah, so interesting stuff going on there. And I don't know, it's always interesting to me to see it. And there's 5 events now, and it's just something different. So I definitely kind of keep tabs on it, and we'll continue to as the drama increases. But any last things from last week, Fortinet or LIV Golf?
Fortnite was crazy. Just glad to get the final round over with. Fun, crazy side note. I had a friend come on Saturday, a couple of guys that I play golf with. And so I live 2.5 hours away, and I did not pack any rain gear. Because when I left, because normally I pack everything. I'm creature of habit. Even if I know it's not going to rain, I pack everything. But for once, I was like, I'm going to go as light as possible. I'm driving there anyway. I looked at the weather, no chance of rain from Sunday. And then I looked Monday and no chance of rain. So I was like, I'm not bringing any rain gear.
Mm-hmm.
Here Wednesday comes and I'm like, oh no. And so I was just like thinking like I got to drive back and forth just to get rain gear. Like trying to ship it would be way too much of a hassle. Like, and I was planning on like driving back and forth.
Yeah.
Luckily, my buddies came on Saturday, and I ended up bringing it, and all good to go.
Oh, well, you made it happen then with that saving a little gas. Yeah, that's awesome.
I made it happen. So fun fact, and I definitely needed it because if I didn't have it, I would have been miserable.
Yeah,
miserable,
wet and wild out there.
It was on and off, but I'm just glad we finished and not had to do a Monday.
Yeah, that nonsense.
Those things are not fun.
Those are a pain. Yeah, I mean, I just I'm traumatized from getting rained on these past 4 weeks or whatever playing golf. So.
I think the last time they had the Zurich as a full field.
Yeah, it was just poured out basically.
I think it was a Monday finish.
Yeah, and it was only 54 holes.
It was only yeah.
So Brian Stewart.
Yeah, I think was it JD Lovemark?
Yeah, and Ben On, speaking of, who played well.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's what made them change it to a team event right there.
Right, there we go.
So yeah, I mean, rain is frustrating, and glad you got to stay dry on that Sunday with some help from your buddies. So shout out to them. Yeah, so we'll turn the page on this week, and also sorry to hear about Trey Lance. He was on my fantasy team, and I know a lot of promising things from him, but there will still be hopefully come next year. But anyways, we'll move on to this week. It's for golf. It's the President's Cup. You can see this big ass trophy behind me, and that is the 14th hole at Quail Hall. Well, 14 usually at Quail Hall, though. It's rerouted this week. They're going 1 through 8 is the same, but to incorporate the Green Mile to make sure they're going to play it, they've got it like I think 9 is 12, 9 through what is it? I got it right here. 9 through 15 is 13 through 18, and then they're going to swing back around and have 16 be number 10, 17 be 11, and 18 be number 9. So a little weirdness going on, but they've done this before at TPC Harding in 2009 because it's a match play and they want to make sure they get the juicy part of the course. They put it in the mid part. But yeah, we're back at a normal course that we know, that we're familiar with. That typically hosts the Wells Fargo Championship. We've talked a little bit about it. But Derell, I know you have great things to say about the Green Monster. So I'll let you have at it. What do you think? What do you think about this rerouting and everything?
I think when you go to Quail Hollow, I mean, before I even been in Quail Hollow, that championship was always one that I watched. I remember it was the Wachovia for a while.
Yes.
And I remember AK winning there. And
Stud.
I remember Ricky Fowler, DA points, and Rory McIlroy playoff. Like,
it is.
This is a place that before I caddied, one of the places that I looked forward to. Like, for some reason, like, it's just always in a great part of the year where you pay way more attention to golf. And again, I love it there. It's definitely, that place is definitely a hard golf course. If people didn't know that already. And It's a ball striker's golf course, and it plays fairly long. I don't know the exact yardage of it, but I remember being there a couple of times, and it plays long. Whether the yardage is short or long, it plays long.
Yeah. 7,600.
Right. So there we go. Go. It plays long.
Yeah.
So it's one of my favorite courses for sure.
It's a big boy golf course. Yeah. What about the rerouting? What do you think of that? Since you've been there,
I think it's a good idea, just to, like you said, to incorporate it all, so that they get all those holes, because those holes are hard.
They're brutal. Even though there's some of them are scoring holes.
16 normally. 16. That is the tee shot's tough, and then the approach shot's tough. Let alone add wind.
Yeah. And pressure.
And pressure.
Yeah, there we go.
So I mean, 18's not a slouch either.
Yeah.
18's not a slouch either, because that water left can come into play, and then bailing out right is not really.
Yeah.
It's better than left, but it's still not good.
I mean, people struggle. They still, like, Rory struggled to win, but he he still won, but like just struggling. David Toms, I remember getting a quadruple there. Had a 6-shot lead. So I mean, 18 creeps up on you if you're not careful. Justin Thomas, when he won the PGA, I mean, he was really careful with what he was deciding. Making, I think, a bogey there. Just for safety. So. I mean, it's a brutal finish. It's going to be the mid part of the back nine. So I guess that's probably when some of the matches will heat up a little bit. So really looking forward to how it's shaping up with the rerouting. What do you think of any thoughts on the team? Who's going to step up, or anyone that might be a top point hitter on each side?
In theory, on paper, the U.S. should slaughter.
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of these team events, is you just never know.
Right.
Same thing in the Ryder Cup. U.S. and Europe, on paper, U.S. should always slaughter, and Europe always seems to figure it out. So hopefully the international team. It's just, for me, it's different for me this year because you got all the LIV guys that could be on the international team and vice versa. So I just don't think it's as strong as it could be, because I definitely would love to see like a Cam Smith.
Right. Yeah. And, who's playing so well right now.
And a Joaquin be out there. So that's where I'm torn from that light of just bringing your best guys to come compete.
Yeah, that's tough part of it, and because I mean Cam Smith is playing hella good golf, and
Oh, unreal.
Joaquin young stud, and you pair him with one of his, Munoz or Mito
I mean,
Pereira, his boy.
Answer,
Yeah, answer.
Answer,
Goodness, I mean, like those are some
Leishman.
studs, Studley DeBosier,
Yeah,
goodness.
so
So that's
it
tough
is what it
to
is.
miss out on that.
We're gonna have to rely on the likes of, I think Cam Davis can, you
Yeah,
know, uh, me and his caddy get along great, and definitely rooting for them. Long bomber Taylor Pendrith
TP.
was picked, and a place like Quail Hollow can eat it alive. So
Mhm.
we'll see how they square away. I think like a Pendrith and Cam Young matchup would be
Ooh,
a singles type of,
kind of low key, juicy. Yeah,
yeah, low key bombers, and
yeah. I
let's
like
just see
that.
what they can do one on one.
I like that. Yeah, I
And
mean,
to me, honestly, the singles match I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to whoever's playing Corey Connors.
oh yeah.
Uh, I'm
Hello,
gonna let them get tired of that ball striking Jesse behavior.
Corey Connors. Yeah, the Terminator, man. He's a beast, and he's gonna be counted on for sure on this team with the kind of the, I guess, lack of depth. I mean, there's still some. I mean, they're pros at the end of the day, and
Yeah,
KH Lee is a guy
I
who
mean, I figure
counted on.
you give whoever plays
Hmm.
Sung Jae the point. I
Yeah.
just think he's a robot.
Yes.
So I'm curious who's gonna match. Definitely for me, the singles just get me going personally.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know, like singles really is really my thing to watch in
Yeah.
these things.
Especially when it's close, like
Yeah,
or someone's kind of staging a comeback, and then let's see what the other team responds. I really love that. I mean, last time I think it was a 10-8 deficit when Tigers team made a comeback, and it was really close. The internationals were playing a really good cup, but it's just been tough for them. It's, I think, 8 straight losses for the international team, and like I in one tie, really in that span. So it's just tough to see because there had been some studs on the international team, and maybe this one will surprise us. Remember, like the '08 U.S. Ryder Cup team. Everyone thought, oh, they're not going to win. They don't have Tiger. They're bunch. They got Boo Weekly on the team. I mean, come on. And
do
then
weekly AK though.
yeah, I know. And then they became studs and folk
Yeah,
heroes. So who's to say? Tom Kim is a guy I like to look at, young star, who I think is just going to embrace it and has been playing some awesome golf. For the U.S. side, I know we've been kind of talking about the underdogs, but a guy like Kevin Kisner, who last guy in, really played great at the 2017 PGA, and I know it's a long course, but he's a guy that hasn't really gotten much of the team opportunities. I know for a fact he embraces it and wants to play his best golf. So it's gonna be interesting. Gonna be interesting stuff. I don't know exactly who's gonna be the top point getter for each. That's a tough say. Um, but I guess I know you said you're not going to do any predictions.
I'll leave that be.
I
I mean,
guess
there's a team I'm rooting for. We all know who it is.
yeah. I mean, I think ultimately it's tough to take the internationals. I mean, as much as we're trying to talk them up, I I mean, I think they're gonna kind of come out inspired, but I think the U.S. is just gonna once they become focused and it's like, hey, we gotta take care of business. It's gonna be hard to stop that. So I think ultimately the U.S. will get her done, get a ninth straight win in the President's Cup. How about this? How about someone's been talking about like possibly mixing up the President's Cup and changing it up because it's been so kind of uh, anti-competitive, like possibly including ladies in the event. Any thoughts on possibly mixing it up from the current format?
To be really honest, I like the current format.
Yeah,
I just
I'm
think the
for sure.
guys just need to step up and figure out a way to get it done. I think talent. I mean, they're all pros, like we just said
Right.
earlier. They can do it. It's just a matter of, I don't know, the camaraderie or whatever it may be. I think the toughest part really for the international side, it's really completely different from an international standpoint compared to like Europe, where they're
Mhm.
all kind of one,
Yeah, group
right?
together.
Like,
Yeah.
like that's where I think the hardest part is. And I think because there's totally different culture.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So I think as time goes on, if they kind of gel better, and I think what's going to help is having the same guys and having, like the young guys, like if you see Sung Jae in the next 3 or 4 of them, that's going to help because he's going to, man and be there, right? Be like a big 4 or a big 3.
Yeah.
So then everybody else can just kind of, what's the word? Just kind of gather around them and just add
galvanize.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what it's gonna take for them to. But with changing the format, I don't think we need to. The only reason why, obviously, they say that is because they keep losing.
Right. I mean, pretty much. Yeah.
But talent-wise, I think they have plenty of manpower to do it. It's just figuring out, like, hey, it's a team thing. We're working for each other. Because, again, team things don't really happen very often in golf.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess now with LIV, they're trying to make that.
Right. They're trying to make it a little bit more.
But yeah, I mean, it's just such a different concept, and you're right. It's just a camaraderie thing. I mean, it's hard to, Hideki's Japanese, and Adam Scott's Australian. That's totally different cultures, but they're top dogs.
And at the end of the day, they're both great golfers. Like they wouldn't be on this team if they weren't the caliber of golfers that they are. So
exactly. No, I agree with you. I don't think they should change. I do like how they kind of made it to the Ryder Cup points. I think where it's like the points are a little bit more valuable, and ties are kind of a half a point. So I think that makes it a little fair. And it's been close. 15, it was pretty close. They had a chance in Korea, and then last time, obviously, the internationals were up. So it's, they've been competitive in some of them. I mean, it's just, it happens every 2 years. So you just think, oh man, what was the last time they won? I mean, what are you going to do? And it's been like that long, but I like the President's Cup. It's like we've been saying, team events. I know LIV is starting to make it more, but team events are kind of so rare in golf and so different that you just love to see it. And you love to see things like that, something that's different. Any moments that stick out to you and that are President's Cup lore?
I mean, really, the President's Cup that I really watched the most was the 09 one. When it was in Harding Park.
It was in San Fran. No.
Yeah, so that's the one that you really paid attention most. Tiger was there, and so I think that's the one that stands out to me.
Yeah, Tiger was really on one. He was doing the twirls. You see,
right? So that highlight is always always there, memorable.
Yeah, I always remember that. I didn't watch it live, but the 03 one with Tiger and Ernie. That's actually one of my favorite Tiger fist pumps when he made that putt like that.
Yeah.
I like emulating that one, but that one was really cool, and it ended up in a tie. So that was extremely different from any other result, and really cool to see both Tiger and Ernie in their primes, just kind of going toe to toe. But yeah, hopefully there's going to be more moments to talk about at the end of this one. Hopefully internationals can make it competitive. And, I wouldn't mind if they won. I mean, I'm, of course, cheering for the U.S., but, hey.
We'll see how it shakes up.
Hey, we'll see. And, of course, lastly, I'd like to talk about it's the week of the First Tee Open. It's called the Pure First Tee Open this year, the past few years. It was the Nature Valley First Tee Open when I was a participant back in 2014.
When the one and only was teeing it up.
Yeah, man, I can't believe it's 8 years, whole two presidential terms there. Goodness, that's incredible to think. But it feels just like yesterday, and man, what a dream week that was, man. Got my face on the magazines back there. Y'all can't see it, but face on the magazine. That was just lanyap, and got a chip in highlight. So look up Peter Mata chip in. But yeah, to play the course, to meet different pros, legends of the game.
I mean, to basically be a pro
yeah, there it is.
You had the whole experience.
Yeah.
I mean, just doing it all, like how it's prepared tournament. Like I think you had an experience that most of us aren't ever gonna have.
Yeah, no, you took the words out of my mouth. Like that's a PGA, that was a pro experience. Like that's what a tour pro, and you know what? I was dead tired at the end of it. I was like, man, they do this every week.
for 3
Gosh.
weeks, 4 weeks straight.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes a lot out of you, and
On top of having to play good golf.
yeah, yeah, and then the pressure of you're trying to provide for your family. I'm just out here to have a good time. I'm just kind of live golfing it a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, but what an awesome thing that is. Shout out to Drew Silman, who's going to be repping the East Baton Rouge chapter. So look out for him. Darryl, you're working it. Working it.
I am working it. I've been to this tournament plenty of times as a spectator. I've worked it once before. This will be my second time.
Right.
I'll be rocking again with Joey Sindelar, and
hey,
we'll get after it and see how it goes.
Did you work with Joey back in what was that?
In 2020? It was COVID year,
okay.
So they didn't have any of the kids that year, and we only played Pebble every day.
Dang, man, that's tough.
So this year we play Pebble and Spy, and we'll have the first tee participants. And
y'all playing Spy?
Playing Spy. So what was your rotation before?
We got Poppy when they was just renovated. Poppy. Yeah, Poppy was nice though. I actually, if I was ever that, I want to go back there just to try all different sort of shots, just because the different slopes and everything. Man, that was, of course.
So we get Spyglass and Poppy. I mean, not Poppy, Spyglass and Pebble. And so I'm excited for it. Like I said, because the last time we just had Pebble and we had no junior. So this year will be a little back to normal. It was back to normal last year, but I didn't work last year. Gotcha.
Yeah, it would be crazy if you got my Drew Silman. That'd be a crazy coincidence.
We'll see how it goes.
We're not very close, but definitely mention, hey, I'm from the East Baton Rouge.
Yeah, without a doubt. Of course. Sure.
Yeah. Awesome, dude. I mean, it's cool that we probably maybe we crossed paths and we don't even know it back then. Who's to say? I love Monterey and I love Pebble Beach. That's like I think I mentioned that in one of my questionnaires. Favorite vacation, I usually say Pebble Beach. So, I mean, it's a dream week for those who are there. Soak it in. Don't get so bogged down on the grind. Soak it all in.
And the weather's nice.
Yeah,
supposedly. So
I mean, it's usually absolutely peach perfect. On that during that week. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got, Darryl, for you. Anything else?
I mean, basically on my end, just got a window tomorrow to play golf maybe, and after that get to work Thursday through Sunday, and then I'm taking a red eye Sunday night to Jackson, Mississippi. And we'll start back with the Sanderson Farms tournament next week.
Dang, man.
So it's gonna be busy for me.
Almost in my neck of woods. That's a few hours out.
Oh, I totally could have flew in there.
Maybe we'll arrange something. We'll definitely obviously podcast that week.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I mean, that's cool. What is that? 2-hour drive? My first time I was there, I flew into New Orleans. I remember.
I think from New Orleans it's 2-3 hours.
Yeah, I remember I flew into there my first time I ever went to Sanderson Farms.
Yes, indeed.
I flew because I had a buddy that lived there, and we, did the whole downtown thing. So it was all good.
Yeah. Now they have prime time for Jackson.
Yeah.
State. Yeah. So no, that's going to be looking forward to that. But yeah, it's been a good last week, and look forward to this week of the President's Cup and other things with golf, like I had mentioned earlier. So let's go. Comment below, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you think of the President's Cup results, or maybe Pebble Beach, first tee, open stuff, whatever it is. Please let us know what your thoughts are. Like, subscribe, comment below. Your words mean something to us.
Later, guys.